Ever wondered how airlines decide when and where their planes fly? It's not just picking a time and a destination, it's a mind-blowing puzzle involving math, tech, and strategy that keeps the skies buzzing. Today we're diving deep into the art and science of airline scheduling in 2025. From AI algorithms to crew logistics, we'll uncover how airlines like Delta, Emirates, and Ryanair make it all happen, and why it matters to you as a traveler. Buckle up, hit that subscribe button, and let's take off into the world of flight scheduling. Airline scheduling is the process of deciding which planes fly where, when, and how often. It's like choreographing a global ballet of thousands of aircraft crews and passengers every single day. In 2025, airlines like American Airlines operate over 6,000 daily flights, while global giants like Emirates manage complex long-haul networks across 6 continents. But here's the catch. Scheduling isn't just about getting from point A to point B. Airlines have to juggle demand, where passengers want to fly and when, resources, planes, pilots, cabin crew, and airport slots, costs, fuel, maintenance, and labor, the biggest expenses, regulations, safety rules, international agreements, and crew rest times, competition, staying ahead of rivals like low-cost carriers or new players like Joby's air taxis. This is a billion-dollar puzzle, and getting it wrong can ground planes or tank profits. Let's break it down step by step. It all starts with predicting where people want to fly. Airlines use mountains of data, think historical bookings, seasonal trends, and even social media buzz, to forecast demand. For example, Delta might see a spike in bookings to Orlando during spring break, while Emirates knows Dubai to London is a year-round cash cow. In 2025, AI is a game changer here. Tools like Saber's Schedule Manager or IBM's Analytics crunch real-time data, everything from Google search trends for flights to Tokyo, to economic indicators like GDP growth. If a music festival pops up in Austin, AI might suggest adding extra flights from New York. But it's not perfect. Unexpected events like a 2025 supply chain snag grounding 737s can throw forecasts off. Airlines also segment demand. Business travelers want early morning or evening flights, while leisure travelers might prefer midday to save money. This shapes the schedule's skeleton. Once demand is forecasted, airlines design their route network. There are 2 main models, hub and spoke, used by giants like United or Lufthansa. Passengers fly through major hubs like Chicago or Frankfurt to connect to smaller cities. This maximizes efficiency but can mean longer travel times. Point to point, think Southwest or Ryanair. Direct flights between cities, no connections needed. It's cheaper, but limits route options. In 2025, hybrid models are trending. Low-cost carriers like Wizz Air add hub-like connections, while legacy airlines experiment with direct routes to compete. For example, American Airlines might schedule a direct Miami to Bogota flight to capture leisure travelers, bypassing their Dallas hub. Airlines also consider airport slots, permission to take off or land at specific times. At congested airports like Heathrow, slots are gold, costing millions. If an airline can't secure a 7 a.m. slot, they might shift to 8 a.m., reshaping the schedule. Now airlines decide which planes fly each route. This is where fleet strategy comes in. Airlines like Delta operate mixed fleets, narrow bodies like the Boeing 737 for short routes, wide bodies like the A350 for long haul. Each plane has trade-offs. A 737 burns less fuel but carries fewer passengers. An A380 hauls more people but needs longer runways. In 2025, sustainability is a factor. Airlines like Qantas are prioritizing fuel-efficient planes like the 787 Dreamliner to cut emissions, especially with new EU carbon taxes. AI tools optimize assignments by analyzing fuel costs, maintenance schedules, and passenger loads. For example, United might use a 737 for a low-demand Chicago to Denver route, but switch to a 787 if bookings surge. But it's not just about planes. Maintenance schedules matter. Planes need checks every 500, 1,000 flight hours. If a 737 is due for an overhaul, the airline might swap in an A320, which can disrupt crew training since pilots are type-rated for specific aircraft. Planes don't fly themselves. Crew scheduling is a beast. Pilots and cabin crew have strict rules like FAA's 1000-hour annual flight time cap or EASA's rest requirements. Airlines use software like Jeppesen Crew to assign crews, ensuring they're qualified for the plane en route. For example, a pilot trained on a 737 can't just hop into an A320 cockpit. Crews are often based at hubs, so a Chicago-based pilot might fly a round trip to Miami and back in a day. But long-haul flights, like Singapore to New York, require layovers and relief crews. In 2025, crew shortages, down 10% globally from pre-2020 levels, mean airlines like Southwest sometimes cancel flights if they can't staff them. Weather and geopolitics also play a role. A typhoon in Asia or tensions over Taiwan in 2025 might force rerouting, requiring quick crew reassignments. It's a logistical nightmare. Here's where the money comes in. Airlines use revenue management systems, like Amadeus Altéa, to tweak schedules based on ticket sales. If a 3 p.m. flight to Las Vegas is selling out but the 5 p.m. is half empty, they might shift a bigger plane to the earlier slot. In 2025, dynamic pricing AI adjusts fares in real time, so a $200 ticket might jump to $400 if demand spikes. Airlines also overschedule slightly, called padding, to account for delays. A 2-hour flight might be scheduled for 2.5 hours to ensure on-time stats, which matter for rankings like Skytrax's 2025 awards, where Qatar Airways often tops the list. In 2025, scheduling is evolving. AI tools like GE's Aviation Digital Solutions predict delays using weather and traffic data, helping airlines like Cathay Pacific reroute proactively. Sustainable aviation is huge. Airbus's zero-hydrogen plane trials are pushing greener schedules, though range limits mean shorter routes for now. Urban air mobility is also shaking things up. Companies like Joby Aviation are scheduling eVTOL flights for 2025, like 15-minute hops from San Francisco to Napa. These require new vertiport slots and coordination with traditional air traffic control, adding complexity. Global challenges persist. Supply chain delays mean fewer new planes, forcing airlines like Ryanair to stretch older 737s, which impacts scheduling flexibility. Geopolitical issues like 2025's Asia-Pacific tensions might close airspace, requiring last-minute detours. Let's see it in action. Imagine Delta scheduling a daily Atlanta to London flight for summer 2025. Demand forecast. AI predicts 80% business travelers wanting evening departures. Route planning. It's a hub-to-hub route, using Hartsfield-Jackson to Heathrow. Aircraft choice. A fuel-efficient A330-900neo, carrying 280 passengers. Crew assignment. Atlanta-based pilots and crew, with a London layover. Revenue tweaks. If bookings lag, Delta might swap for a smaller 767 or cut a weekly flight. The result? A 7 p.m. departure, arriving 8 a.m. London time, optimized for profit and punctuality. But if a slot opens at 6 p.m., AI might suggest shifting to capture more premium passengers. Airline scheduling isn't just logistics. It's why your ticket costs what it does, why your flight leaves at 6 a.m., and how airlines stay profitable while getting you to your destination. In 2025, with AI, sustainability, and new tech like eVTOLs, it's more complex than ever. Next time you board a plane, you'll know the insane planning behind it. If you love this deep dive, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell for more aviation secrets.